When do I wanna love you? When do I wanna see you?
Uh-oh. What happened here? There we go. Every day. All the time.
You were looking so good to me the night we met. I could not see how deep you were. Penetrate my heart. Now that some time has passed, you make me feel it was meant to last.
The Natasha Simone sequence.
I never wanna be
Uh-oh.
apart. Oh no. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Hey, everybody.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. When do I wanna love you?
Every day.
When do I wanna see you?
All the time.
When do I wanna love you? When do I wanna see you?
Shout out to the room. Shout out to the entire room. It's Thursday, and every single day so far has been the Mondayest day of the week, and today was no different. File in here because not only do we have a phenomenal guest that is joining us tonight, but I've got some stories that we're going to get into right now.
Finally, a show with an array of topics. I mean, she talks about it all. The Natasha Simone sequence, evening edition, begins now.
Shout out to the room. Shout out to the whole room. Hey, everybody. Hello? Hello, everybody. Shout out to the room. Shout out to my back office girl. I don't see it. FYI. I do not see it. Wait, you're on. Hello? Yes, we are on time. Welcome to Thursday. Thank you to everybody in here. I look stunning. What do I look like all the other days if I look stunning today? Because I'm telling you one thing. My back office girl is funny. Shout out to everybody in here. I hope we all made it back. Yes, I did cancel the morning show this morning. Let me tell you something. The things that are brewing kept me up. And so I was fine. Everybody's like, Tasha, you okay? I'm like, I'm totally fine. I'm like totally okay. It's just some days, you know, I just like needed a whole moment to myself. Because if I would have come on this morning, I would have been sitting here like, ooh, you know, already crazier than normal. Lipstick is popping. Thank you so much. I am wearing this lipstick on purpose. Today I'm wearing the Viva Glam lipstick with Current lip liner. And the Viva Glam lipstick, 100% of the proceeds from Viva Glam goes towards AIDS awareness by MAC. So if you want this lipstick, you too can have it for $20 over at MAC. And that's that. That's the PSA on my lipstick. No endorsements over here. Just all realness. Shout out to everybody in here. Please file in here. Take your shoes off. Go get a drink at the bar. Oh, we've got a cute bartender. Are you the only one working tonight? I thought there was two of you on the schedule. Well, I've got a lot of people coming in here because my guest tonight, she's amazing. So I hope you get it all together. Okay, everybody, don't bum rush him. Get your drinks together. Take your shoes off. Get your drinks together. Tonight is going to be awesome. I want to shout out everybody that I communicated with today. I'm getting better. My lips are popping with the pattern of this outfit. Oh, well, thank you. This old thing, like for real, this shirt is so like old. But thank you. Shout out to my son, my little one, the 10-year-old, had a Christmas play, pageant, concert, whatever you call those things today. Before I get into that, Well, actually, no, we're going to get into that. You know what throws me off sometimes when I don't do the morning show? Because I feel like everything that we would talk about in the morning time that I didn't talk about, I want to talk about now. But since the day is over, I don't have to get into national days, right? But if you're still munching on something, it is National Brownie Day. So, I don't know, do with that as you may. I will not be having a brownie. Hello? Hold on a second. Let me do this. Okay, there we go. So, shout out to my son, my 10-year-old. I went and did that. So, the 10-year-old's in 5th grade, and they did their Christmas performance. Well, just, holiday performance, excuse me. And they start at kindergarten, and you know what happens? It's a packed house when they start at kindergarten. Then as the grades, go, the parents leave. Some people got to go to work. Some people are like, okay, my kid is in 1st grade. I'm not sitting here watching all the grades. And I think that's kind of mean. I've always been the parent to support all of the kids, if you know what I'm saying. So I never, when my kids were in the younger grades and it was, something like that, I always stayed for the whole thing because, and I hope somebody listens to me from hearing me say this. When your kids are in the younger grades, the earlier grades, when the older kids come and everybody is leaving, when they stand there, they feel completely unappreciated. You know what I'm saying? Because they're looking out into an empty crowd. So I never left. So I stayed. And so by the time, of course, 5th grade came, it was an empty room. And so 5th grade came and I was the loudest parent in there. I don't care. I was like, go 5th grade. And I was waving and I was shouting my kid out, and he's up there smiling with all his teeth and smiling with his whole entire face, and his hair is this big. Almost knocked my Christmas tree down. His hair is this big, and so people were like, oh, which one is your kid, right? And I was like, oh, you'll see if you stay for the whole thing. So some who stayed because their kids were in the older grade, I was like, can you spot my kid? And they were like, oh my God, he has hair like you. I'm like, hello? Think I have hair like him. Okay. So everybody, send some, let me see. He had a green sweatshirt on for the Christmas stuff. So send green hearts in the chat, for my 10-year-old. You know what? He's not even watching right now, so don't even worry about it. But nonetheless, that's what I did. After that, I got to tell you all something. So I go to Starbucks down the street, and I like to go and sit and do my work nearby if I know, whatever. So anyhow, I'm there doing my work. I'm on the phone. I'm making all these calls and I'm doing all my work and I'm doing my show prep and I'm doing everything there. And after being there for a little while, this man comes over to me, right? And he compliments me on my hair. Older gentleman, maybe somewhere in his late 60s, if I can guesstimate properly. So I said, thank you. And then he comes back and he goes, you should be a hair model. And I said, oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you so much. Now I am visibly busy. Okay. Visibly in my work, computer open. You can see I've got both headphones in my ears. Not like you couldn't see my ear pods because I didn't have ear pods and I had the one with the wired. These joints. So you can see that I am immersed in whatever it is that I'm doing. Okay, no problem. He comes back again. Are we counting? 3 times. I want you to count how many times I tell you he came back to me. He comes back again. And then he goes, you really should do it. You gotta, do it while you're young and blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm not engaging. When you're engaging and your body language, you turn to the person, you give them your undivided attention. I'm not engaging in this man. I'm very focused on what's happening over here and not what's happening over here, if you understand. Okay, I said, thank you so much. Now, mind you, I'm on the phone. I'm talking on the phone. So the person on the phone goes, is this the same character that keeps coming back? I said, sure is. He comes back again. We're at number 4. And so my bag was on the seat next to me. So I was sitting in the little couch chairs, okay? And my bag was in the seat next to me. Now I start getting a little, annoyed. And I'm like, I'm not really paying attention to you. You keep coming back to me and interrupting me, and I'm visibly annoyed. But I'm being calm because you just never know who the killer is, and you just never know who and how you're going to activate somebody. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm very polite when I'm in very uncomfortable, compromising situations. Is there anybody else in here who operates like this, where you don't react in a way where you just blast off? You just I get very calm And cause I gotta ascertain what's happening here very quickly. Like, where's the exit? Where's somebody? Is it, hello? Am I the only one? I need to know because this might be a problem. So he goes back to his friends. He comes back for a fifth time. And he goes, my friend's over there. So I look over to these friends, and it's a table of about probably 6 guys in his age range, sort of say. And they're all looking, and they start waving to me, and I'm like, now this is uncomfortable. And I hear them like snickering and laughing, and I'm like, at your big age, it's like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And so he goes, my friends wanted me to come over because they said, there's no way that your hair could be real. And I said to them, no. Her hair is real. I know real. Now I'm sitting there and I'm like, uh-huh. So my laugh is quite uncomfortable because I'm like, because who's been rocking with me for a long time? Remember that time I was in the other Starbucks and this lady walked past me and my girlfriend and she petted my head? Like, she petted me? Who remembers that? So I was just like, now I'm getting nervous because I'm like, I don't want you to touch me. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's funny. He goes back. He comes back again. Now this time, all the times that he's been coming over, he was standing, which was very unnerving because I don't like when you're standing over me. I'm sitting and you're standing over me. That is controlling. You understand me? So now he sits down in the chair next to me. Remember what I told you, what was in the chair next to me? It was my bag. So now I'm like, I know this guy did not just sit in the chair where my bag is. Very strange. Okay. And then he takes his hand and puts it on my shoulder and he goes, you really, really should get an agent. So I now move my shoulder away and I kind of chuckle a little bit because, again, are you the killer? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is happening? So he gets up. Now, I want you to know there was a guy sitting at a table sort of across the way. I didn't realize he was watching because now I'm talking on the phone and I said to the person I was talking to, I got to go. I have to get out of here because I'm very, very uncomfortable. So I pack up my stuff very slowly. And I had a couple of more things to do. So as I'm like putting other things away, like I'm preparing myself, I look over to the guy who's sitting across the way and he mouths to me, WTH, like, what the hell, right? He says, what the hell? So he's like, doing like sign language. And I'm like, so he's doing sign language. I'm talking out loud. I said, you see that, right? You see what's going on, right? So your friend over here comes back yet again. In total, he came over 8 different times. 8 times. And I quickly, at that last time when he put his hand on my shoulder and then let his hand glide down, I was like, oh no. I said, okay, that's enough. I said, I hope you have a great day. Got my stuff. I got up and I'm on the phone and I go over to the guy who witnessed everything. So we talked about it. And he said he had one more time to come over to you before I came over to you. Right? So we talked about it. He goes, when you leave, please do me a favor and do not say a word to him. Don't say bye. Don't say anything. So I listened to him. I went to the restroom. I got a drink, whatever. And I walked straight. Oh, as I was waiting for my drink, I went to the restroom, came out. And as I was waiting for my drink, who do you think comes over to me? Your friend. Now my heart is racing because now, you know what I'm saying? Like, now I'm like, oh my, but at least now I'm talking to the guy across the way and there's somebody else that sees this. And, he's asking me, he's like, where are you from? You look so exotic. Shut up. Like, stop it. So I get uncomfortable. It was just an uncomfortable situation. I get my stuff and I leave. Like, so I don't know what I could have done differently. I don't know how. I was just like, I could have left earlier, but I was in the middle of minding my business. Excuse me. So now I'm like, I can't go back to that Starbucks for a little while because it looks like him and his friends post up shop there daily or something like that. And I was just like, I don't want to be in that position again. So I left, and that was that. Shout out to everybody listening to me on Clubhouse. Today's my Clubhouse anniversary. Hello. Shout out to Clubhouse. How many years is it now? 2? I got on Clubhouse at the end of 2020. And what year are we in? Oh, wait. We're in 2023. So 3 years. Shout out to Clubhouse. I turned 3 years old today. Everybody that's in Clubhouse right now, share the room. Share the room. We have an amazing guest walking in the door very shortly by the name of Ray Lewis Thornton. She's got a story to tell, and she is like larger than what could have been something that very well could have taken her out. She took it by storm. So Ray Lewis Thornton is walking in the door very quickly. So shout out to everybody on Clubhouse. We've got Dr. Monica in the room. We got G Smooth, Carla Cofield, and Tina. Hello. Shout out to the room. And shout out to everybody here on Instagram that's live. So if you're on Clubhouse and you want to join in on the fun over here on Instagram, please feel free to cross over or get another device. And everybody here on Instagram, if you want to throw your phone in your pocket and keep it moving and you don't care to see what I look like, that's okay. You can go over to Clubhouse and listen to me perfectly fine. Everybody, I hope by now you have had your drinks. The bar, it's an open bar. Feel free to order any and everything that you want. Right now, I'm not doing my guest. You know, I was going to get like a special tea. She's a tea connoisseur. I never heard that term before, but I love tea, but I didn't have time to get a fancy tea. So today I have matcha. So we've got a whole wall of fancy designer tea. So everybody take a sip really quickly of whatever beverage. I need that. Oh, I made this so yummy today again. Oh, I did it. I found a good recipe for my matcha. Hello. Shout out to Brittany Griner. She is home today. The U.S. did whatever they had to do with, hey Zion. Is Zion in the room? As in little baby Zion Party? Shout out to Zion Party. That's Rick Party's daughter. Everybody say hi, Zion. I didn't know she was in the room. Maybe I missed that. But Brittany Griner is home. They made a deal. U.S. made a deal with Russia. They skipped over a prisoner that's there who is a Marine. I don't know too much about the story. I know enough, but you want to know something? I'm going to tell you something. The person that they swapped, I don't think that was a fair trade whatsoever. But I'll keep my opinions to myself on this one until I feel either ready to talk about it or have somebody else talk about it. Because quite honestly, yeah, I'm good on this. But I'm glad for Brittany Griner and her family. But it's all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's all the other stuff. Did you all see that? Or did my microphone cover that? Anyhow, moving on. The guest that we have tonight, Ray Lewis Thornton. This woman is beyond superwoman and phenomenal. She's an Emmy award-winning AIDS activist. She's an award-winning blogger. She's winning all the awards, first of all. There's a lot of awards and plaques that she owns. She's a social media expert. She's an author. She's a jewelry designer. You've seen Phaedra Parks and Dionne Warwick, to name a few, that have worn her amazing, beautiful jewels. A tea connoisseur. I want to get into that first because I love tea. No, we'll get into that second. She's got a memoir that was released May 18th. And there's just a lot more to her. So she's walking through the door. I see her over there by the mirror. She's fixing her hair at the moment. Every day. Oh, I love my team. My team holds me down so phenomenally. 4,000 people every day, including 1,100 young people between the ages of 15 and 24, become infected with HIV. And it's 2023 and we still don't have a proper cure between AIDS and cancer. I'm not understanding. We could develop an iPhone every 3 days, but we can't find the cure, the proper cure for this. Everybody straighten up, refill your glasses. Keep quiet because Ray is walking. Ray Lewis Thornton, excuse me. We're not on only first name basis yet. Let me see by the end of the show if she'll allow me to call her Ray. She's walking through the door and she smells amazing. Miss Ray, welcome to the show.
The Natasha Simona Sequence, Evening Edition. Tonight's special guest, Emmy Award-winning AIDS activist, author, award-winning blogger, social media expert, jewelry designer, and tea connoisseur, Ray Lewis Thornton.
Hello?
Well, hello there. Can you see me well?
I can see you well. You're so beautiful.
Thank you. I am on my telephone because my iPad did something crazy. So
That's
I'm
okay.
here.
You look fantastic. You want to know something? So obviously I wore this lipstick because, you know, are you familiar with Viva Glam with MAC?
Oh.
I mean, listen. So I wore this.
So wait, that's a look that my cousin would give me when it's like,
hello,
girl.
So of course I wore this specifically today. I mean, I wore it the other day, but today again I wanted to wear it specifically. But when I looked at majority of your photos, you always have beautiful red lips, and I was like, I hope I do her justice, and I hope she comes on the show with these red lips because this is for you.
Well, let me just say this. Doing your introduction, I dotted in the bathroom and put on red lips because tonight I decided I wanted to have winter plum lips. But I am also wearing Viva Glam. And let me tell you something about Viva Glam, which is people don't know. So it came out in the same time, December 1994, that it came out in 94, the same time I was on the cover of Essence magazine. And Roxana Floyd, who was the Black makeup artist before everybody else, she said to me as she was beating my face, well, there's this new company and they have this lipstick called Viva Glam for AIDS, and I don't know how it's gonna go, and she put it on my lips. And of course, now we know they have had so many more Viva Glams, and they have raised so much money. So yeah, I went and put on my Viva Glam so that we could show that it's a great red for different skin colors.
Absolutely. You know, I saw you over there at the mirror. We have a floor to ceiling mirror for everybody that doesn't know. And I saw you there getting yourself ready. I said, God, she's so beautiful in real life.
Thank
oh my
you.
God. Oh, even when you took your glasses off. Do it again. Let me get a good look. Look at, you're stunning.
Thank you. You know what? I'm 60. I turned to 60 in May, and I am just aging gracefully. That's
like Benjamin Button in reverse.
Oh, well, I'm just thankful to God that I am still here and still got my diva kind of thing going on. Not my kind of thing going on. I still got my diva going on. I'm just happy to be alive.
You know what? I say this respectfully. I think a lot of people are probably shocked that you're still alive, right?
Girl,
statistically.
I'm shocked.
Are you really?
Oh God, yes. Oh yes. When I was, let me give people a sense. So HIV is going into its 42nd year. I have been infected, I believe, for 38 years. But the public has known for 28-ish. When I transitioned to AIDS, the life expectancy for someone was 18 months. And so there was no expectation to live. There were very mediocre medicines and people were still dying. Black women. AIDS was the #1 killer of Black women in 94 between the ages of 25 and 44. And I was sick enough that I should have died. You know, and I was on the cover of Essence that said, facing AIDS, young, educated, drug-free, dying of AIDS. And people said, you're not dying. I said, tell it to my goddamn T cell count. The average healthy person has 1,000. When I was on the cover of Essence, my T cell count was 84. And 6 months after Essence, my T cell count was 8. And
The single digit?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I was a size 0.
Okay, hello. Shout out to Small Waist.
Okay, well, girl, but shit, I looked like the kiss of, well, you know what? We like skinny people. And so people were like, "Ooh, girl," and I was like, "Ooh, you don't understand, darling. I'm dying."
And no,
so,
but at this point, at this point, people knew.
Oh yeah, I was public. Everybody knew. Everybody and their grandmother knew.
So can I pause you right here?
Yes.
Can I pause you right here? So I'm pretty sure there's a few people listening that's like, wait, we want to know how she even contracted it, drug free. Wait, how? So before I even ask you, can you tell us? Do you ever get tired of talking about the beginning? How did you contract HIV?
The beginning. Do I get tired of talking about the beginning? No, because you have to understand your history to know where you're going. And I want people to understand HIV in a way that they still don't seem to get it, because the numbers are still disheartening for me. So I was 24 when I was diagnosed with HIV. I donated blood. 24. I donated blood, and what I thought was a thank you letter for donating blood was a letter telling me that something was wrong with the blood I donated, and that I went to the Red Cross the next day, and the entire meeting took like 15 minutes, and there were no medicines to treat HIV. AZT would come later that year, but they still weren't giving AZT to everyone. I didn't start AZT until 90, I think. And yeah. And, I tell people, I was living in DC at the time. I was working in politics. I was a political organizer on the national scale. And I tell people that if I did not know God, I would have walked straight into the Potomac River. Instead, I went back to work, and I just kept moving because I wasn't sick. I didn't look sick. I didn't feel sick. There was no treatment. And so I just went on about my life. Now, back then, we didn't know if everybody with HIV would transition to AIDS. Eventually, we learned that everybody with HIV would transition to AIDS. So when I started to transition to AIDS in like 92, 93, that was when, that became a whole new ball game.
How do you know you're transitioning? Like,
you don't really know unless you know that you have AIDS, HIV. Mm-hmm. Or if you know a lot about HIV, that would be the only way. Because my first transitions were small things, normal things like weight loss. Well, I was a size 12, baby, trying to be a size 6. So my ass was in the gym all the time.
Right.
And I tell people were saying, "Girl, look at you. You look so good." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." Like I had been on Jenny Craig. And I think that there was a sense of denial too, because I was still wearing like 12s and 10s, and I was a 6.
Yeah.
I started to have irregular menstrual cycles. They would last 2 days. They would last 10 days. They would last 21 days.
Oh, Lord.
Now, every woman
That's expensive.
Every woman in the room should have crossed her legs. Hello.
Yeah, my stomach started hurting when you said 21 days. I'm like, hello.
Absolutely. And I started to have recurrent yeast infections, and I just,
Life wasn't normal anymore.
Yeah, no, I became fatigued. I was tired all the time. And so those were the first indications that my immune system was not working properly. Now, if you don't know you're infected, you may think you're tired, you're overworked, you're stressed. You may think anything about your life. And that still applies for today. So if you don't go get tested, you will not know you're HIV infected. And most Black people, most African Americans find out when they've already transitioned to AIDS. And that's 10 years in.
Oh my God.
It takes 8 to 10 years for HIV to destroy your immune system and create the disease AIDS. So, yeah. Now, the good thing is that today, unlike, when I was diagnosed with HIV, we start you on treatment right away. And you may, and if you comply and do what you're supposed to do, you may never transition AIDS.
Oh, so today you have the possibility to just have HIV.
Absolutely. With over 40 HIV medications,
wow,
you have the possibility to only to remain HIV infected. The other thing is that if you're virally suppressed, you cannot transmit HIV.
Okay. Is that what Magic
that
Johnson
equals you, undetectable means
right.
Right, okay. So untransmittable. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So
but it doesn't mean there's a cure.
Right.
It just means that the amount is so low that we can't, it's not enough to harm, like we talk about the COVID viral load.
Yes.
And they would say the higher the COVID viral load, the sicker you would. It's the same thing with HIV. Okay.
So when you went to tell the first person, right? I just want to know, how do you, okay, so when you think about when you went to let whomever was the first person you said, I am HIV positive. Can you take me, can we go back to that moment, and how do you, because I know you do a lot of speaking engagements, how do you coach people through this moment, that first person to find out?
Okay. I wasn't always this public, let's be clear. In those early days, I was very secretive about my status because I didn't want it to interfere with my career. So let's backtrack. So I left the Red Cross building that day, and I went back to my office, and I called my girlfriend from high school, Veronica. And I said, Veronica, they just told me at the Red Cross that I have HIV. And she said, didn't really know what to say, which was unusual for Veronica, because when you read my memoir, you will see that Veronica always has something to say. So she said, call my mom. And I called her mom, and Sherry said to me, girl, you are not dying. Get over yourself and get back to whatever it was you was doing. And we said goodbye, and I got back to work.
So there was no like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
What
the hell?
Sherry said, you are not dying. And Veronica did too, but Sherry was the one to like drill it
life
in.
Right back. Right.
Like, girl, she said, you better speak life. And she was an early school positive thinker person. Right. So, she was instilled on I don't know, you are from Chicago, a little Johnny Coleman in me, you better speak life into yourself. You are not dying, and you are going to be here. And that was enough to get me through my work day. And I went home. I was talking to this guy. I was in a relationship. I was in not in love, but kind of like in good like, with that. Yeah, okay. And he came over to get, his clothes that I'd washed. And as soon as he walked through the door, I just had to get it out. I said, I have HIV, and he thought that I was playing or joking. And finally it sunk in, and I gave him the referral that I was given to the National Institute of Health. And he said something like, he said, "You bitch."
Hello? Really?
And walked out of my house. Look, and had I known he was going to leave, he would have left with dirty clothes. Okay.
Oh my God.
I called 2 more friends that night. Then it took another year to tell someone else. Then it took another 4 years to tell someone else. And I really didn't know how to tell. It was like I had to really, I mean, there was so much discrimination back then.
Of course.
That I just didn't know who I could trust. And so, you know, I just kind of went on lockdown with a caveat, with the exception of the men I dated. And even those first couple of years, I talk about it in my book. I talk about how I was just hot boiling oil, because I would go into situations and I'd be in that situation and I'd be like, you have HIV, you can't have sex with him, you can't do this, you got to tell him. And I'm fighting with myself, you know, while my titties are being massaged and stuff. And,
right.
you know, and it took me about a good year-ish.
Right.
To come to a place, maybe almost 2 years, to come to a decision about my dating life.
Mm-hmm.
And that decision was that I felt like I didn't have a right to put someone at risk, but that I would give him the option.
Right.
So how do you tell a man that you have HIV?
And he stays.
You do it with your clothes on at the kitchen table. I have HIV. This is what it means for me. This is what it means for you. This is what it means for us. And be ready to answer any and all questions, because you, at least I believe, owe that person the information.
Sure.
But are you ready for this? I have never had a man say no.
Wait, what? Really? Hold on.
Let me okay, so, and you said you didn't have fancy tea. Matcha is fancy tea. Most people don't even know what it is. I'm just having a little chamomile lavender. I have never had a man say no. I have had men willing to have sex with me with a condom, without a condom. I've had married men willing to have sex with me. I've had men with girlfriends willing to have sex with me. I have had no shortage of a sexual partner.
No, that's right.
The problem for me, I guess, as I aged, well, because I was married for about 4 years and divorced, married after with HIV and divorced. And we could do a whole show on that shit. But my problem is I have men want to get with me, but they don't want other people to know they're getting with me.
Oh, you know, and now that you're a public figure.
Right, exactly. There is a liability that's attached to my fame and my, you know, it's kind of weird to say fame, but to my celebrity status. I mean, I am one of the most name recognizable Black women in America with AIDS.
I mean, you were the first person, you were the first African-American woman to grace.
I was the first Black woman to tell my story on a cover of a major magazine.
Yes.
And for the record, Essence sold more December issues in the history of the company. In the December month, the month that I was on, still to date.
Wow.
So yeah, you know, so men want to get with me. They don't want nobody else to get with me. And I had to draw the line. So my decision was, no, if you can't walk with me in the park in the daylight, you can't have no coochie in the dark.
I'm done.
I'm a fool. Yes, I am.
I'm done. Let me reset the room real quick. Shout out to everybody that's listening on Clubhouse. We have Ray Lewis Thornton in the building. She is telling us about her life and journey from start to now, living with HIV/AIDS. She's an activist. She's a jewelry designer. She is a firecracker. She's a light. And shout out to everybody in the room right here on Instagram watching us. Thank you to everybody that's contributing in the chat. I don't know what's going on Clubhouse because I can't see, but I want to thank Rick Party for making sure that that operation is happening. Ray, this is you're like my big sister in my head now because you're a firecracker. So you said, okay, boo boo, we can't walk in the park, then we ain't beating in the sheets. Okay, cool. So there's that. Now you're this public figure and you're getting comfortable with sharing your story publicly. You're being interviewed on many, many different publications, Oprah, you're on the news, you're an activist. So now you're out and you're confident and you're gorgeous. What did you ever want children? So going through all of this, now your health is it safe to say your health is deteriorating while you're living?
Okay, so it's safe to say.
And children. Can we talk about children too? I did throw that in. Yeah, we
can. We'll put a pin in it. We'll come back to children. It's safe to say that I'm doing good in the context of having advanced AIDS. So once you make an AIDS transition, you always have an AIDS. You're always an AIDS diagnosis. Even if there's medicine to help you build your immune system back up so that you don't die or you don't get the life-threatening illnesses that will kill you, because you don't die from AIDS. You die from these life-threatening illnesses. We call them opportunistic infections. So, you know, my viral load is undetectable. My teeth and viral load is how much of the virus that copies in your body.
Okay.
T cells was the big thing before viral load, and that was the amount of T cells you have. T cells protect your immune system. They help you fight off infection. And so the lower your T cell, the sicker you are. And so my T cell count is in the 500 range. So HIV is stabilized, I guess is the best way to say it. But if for some reason I stop taking my medicine, or if the medicine that I am on, I develop a resistance to that in some way, and then we pray that there's something next for me to go to, and then something next for me to go to, because there still is no cure from HIV. And so, yes, in the scheme of things, I am living as healthy as a person with HIV can live. Now, there's something we're learning about people who are aging with HIV. Because think about it this way, if HIV is going into its 42nd year, and I've been infected for 38 years, I'm history. That's why I understood COVID. Because when COVID was novel, I lived through the new novel days of AIDS. And so now we know. So we know that people with HIV, long-term people with HIV, have bone density issues, male, female, black, and white, because HIV destroys the bone. We also know that...
Did it affect your teeth too? Because you have beautiful teeth. It looks like there's 500 in there.
It does. We have more gum disease.
Really?
Yes.
What about your skin color or texture?
It does when you... Now, I'm going to say that this is where, I mean, of course, being alive is a miracle, but for as low as my T cell count was, and as sick as I was, it never affected my skin or my hair.
That hair is gorgeous. People buy hair like this.
They do. But it did affect my body shaping and image, because the HIV medicines, at one point, years later, we found out that the first class of HIV medicines redistribute your fat. So I'm larger at the top and smaller at the bottom. I'm like a 4 at the bottom and a 12 at the top. And
Okay.
I've always got to work at it. And right now, I still like working off COVID fat and all of that.
Can we talk about COVID real quick?
Okay.
Okay.
So
I'm sorry. I
people
opened about 12 tabs.
You sure have. So yes, I'm good, but there are some things my body don't operate as well as another person that's 60 and healthy.
Okay.
That's the best to say. Let's talk about COVID.
COVID comes, you're in your house, minding your business.
And I totally shut down because unlike a lot of other people, I understand that Dr. Anthony Fauci is brilliant. And when for me, the buzzwords were new, novel. He kept saying it. We don't know what we don't know. It's a new novel coronavirus. We've still got, and we still don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first thing that gave me a cause to pause. Hypothetically, a person with HIV whose viral load suppressed should do okay with COVID. But I've had HIV for 38 years.
Mm.
So I've had inflammation, which is the other thing I wanted to say. There is no cure. And so although we eliminate the virus out the body, there's still small amounts. And when you have a foreign agent in your body, what does it do? It creates inflammation to fight it off. So my body is always creating inflammation, which cause, heart disease and all these other issues. And so I shut it down. Like when I tell you, well, for 3 months, I didn't even go to the grocery store. My friends would drop food off at the door. I tried all the delivery services. Then I started going out, but only to the grocery store. I didn't go to the doctor for 6 months. I was really pretty much isolated in my 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
And it was depressing.
Mm.
It was equally depressing because I was still working on my memoir. And I would leave the house. I would leave the house to go write. So like my therapist, she had created these boundaries for me that we would take. Because when you read my book, baby, let me tell you, I mean, by the time I was 11, I had been molested by 4 family members. I grew up in this house where I was told I was never going to be shit, where I was unloved and discarded and unprotected. And that is what my book is about. How unprotected and violated I was and how it shaped the trajectory of my life, both good and bad. And what we now know about childhood trauma, it reshapes the brain, it shrinks the brain, it causes learning disabilities. We know that trauma is a problem. We didn't know that back then. And so that's what my memoir was about. So I'm reliving, because I literally put myself back there.
Yeah.
So I'm literally reliving rape and violence in this 1-bedroom apartment with just me and my puppy dog.
Oh, look at the baby. What's your dog's name?
Chloe Chanel.
Okay, with the middle name.
Okay, middle name. So it was hard for me.
Yeah.
And at the end of COVID, I made a decision.
Mm-hmm.
Was that I was going to buy a house, because I never wanted to buy a house because I thought I was going to die and I didn't have any family, and why was I going to buy a house for, and who was going to get it? And so I decided that I wanted to buy a house. I wanted to move to a small town where the cost of living wasn't high, and that I could have my my red room, my reading room, my tea room. I could just create a life for myself. Wake up in the morning and listen to the birds sing with a cup of tea in my hand. And I'm working on that goal. And then that changed. And a year later, I met my family, and now I'm moving to where some of my family.
No, you met your family.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Okay. Hold on.
My parents were heroin addicts. My dad was murdered when I was 3. My paternal grandfather took me to raise me. He died when I was 6, and nobody wanted me. My white grandmother didn't want me. My mom was still a drug addict. My mom was still a drug addict somewhere. And everybody else on the Black side pretty much disappeared. So I ended up being raised by my father's grandfather's 3rd wife. My dad's
not
mom
even
died
your
in her
blood
30s.
family.
No. I only knew one aunt, Aunt Lula Mae, who was well into her 60s. And then when I started writing the book and I started wondering what the hell happened to my family, I went to Ancestry. And about a year ago, I started to get a break. And when I tell you I got a break, so I'm meeting my granddad's father's side of the family. And some of us look like we're sisters.
No way. The
brothers.
Genetics are strong.
Look at my Instagram page and my Facebook page at the picture where I call her my twin. She's just a little darker than me, but we look like sisters.
So the history with your mom, I mean, at this point, I'm assuming she has transitioned on to.
She has transitioned, and she got her life together at one point, and we met when I was 18, and da 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 da.
Right.
But here goes the problem. She was an addict for most of her life, and obviously there was some mental illness there.
Sure.
Too. And she never recovered. She could never. Our relationship was plagued by her mental illness, my grandmother's unwillingness to get to know me. My grandmother died like at 90-something years old, having never met her granddaughter.
Wow. At any point while you were writing this memoir, did you, and so you were in the middle of COVID, you're writing your memoir, you are now the Ray Lewis Thornton. You are who you are. While you're writing this memoir, did you ever stop and ask yourself, why me? With everything that you, from your start in existence to that point, did you ever question why you?
No, because there was a short period right when I transitioned to AIDS. I was like, okay, God, how much pain can any one person have? I've been taking care of myself since I was 17. The woman I call mama put me out. I was 15 minutes late for my curfew, and she told me to go back, which went to the payphone, and she said, go back where you just came from. So I've been making it happen for myself since I was 17. And at that point, it was like, okay, God, now come on here.
Right.
But this is what I understand about my life. It's that God has given me a unique gift to talk about my life and my pain and my transparency and authenticity in a way that it helps enriches the lives of others. And so I just see AIDS as a catalyst to do the work God has called me to do.
Yeah.
I'm about healing souls.
Your story just to this point is it's inspiring, it's touching, it's like heartbreaking, inspiring, it's all of that wrapped in one. There's a lot of emotions here. Now I want to get to some fun stuff.
Okay.
So you're a jewelry designer.
I design bracelets. I started about 12 years ago or something like that.
Where
And
did that craft come to?
I actually do talk about my crafting in the book, and um, it's really crazy. But in my 20s, my mentor, Jacqueline Jackson, the wife of Jesse Jackson, I was the national youth director for both Reverend Jackson's presidential campaign. So I organized students across the country for his campaigns, and she taught me how to crochet. She taught me how to sew, and I didn't know it at the time, but it was the beginning of using my hands. And using my hands has been very therapeutic for me. So anyway, about 12 years ago, I was like, I just said, wow, I want to create AIDS awareness bracelets. And then once I started, making the red bracelets, I was like, I'm good at this shit. And so
It's like part of your therapy too, right? While you're sitting there and stringing it along.
And I knit, and I'm an avid knitter. I'm a really good knitter. And so about 5 years ago, I added knitted accessories to RLT collection. And it's my therapy. It's part of my soul work. And if I could have my way, I would love to open up a crafting center for women, for trauma, mental illness, because there's research that shows that the repetitiveness with the hands is like meditating.
Yeah, I believe it.
Plus I got a lot of style.
Well, listen, I might have to put you to the test. I was sitting here this week during one of my interviews, and I had a bracelet on, and I popped it. So all of the little beads bursted all over the place. And so perhaps I'm going to drop this in the mail for you. And see.
Where are you located, by the way?
I'm in Los Angeles. I'm from New York, but I live in Los Angeles.
Okay, well, drop it in the mail, and then I'll send you something with it. How about that?
So I'm gonna put your skills to test.
Do you have all the beads?
Yeah, I have all because I was sitting here. I love little bracelets. This is another one, but I was just sitting here, as a public speaker, sometimes you have like a little fidget. Yeah. And my bracelet was a little looser than this one, and I was just kind of fidgeting with it, and it literally, and here I am talking the way I'm talking to you, so just imagine my bracelet popping right now, and you just got to keep the show going.
Well, send it to me, and then I'll just send you some, and you can wear it and tell people where you got them from. I've been doing stretch bracelets before they became popular.
Well, first let me say thank you, but yeah.
And I use some of the best quality stones that I can find. I mean, come on. I mean, I am impeccable. I have impeccable taste. People
I love your confidence. I love it.
You know what? If you don't like yourself, nobody else will.
We have somebody, you know what? Look, there's somebody right here that says, I love my bracelets from Ray.
Oh, thank you. Whoever said that, thank you. I love you. So yeah, plus you have to have more than one income revenue. You know what I'm saying?
Today, of course. Hello.
Absolutely. So I do the bracelets. I hand knit scarves, accessories, and I have a web store, rltcollection.com, and that's how I sell them.
And you're a tea connoisseur on top of that.
Yeah.
There's a level of fabulosity to you that's like.
Yes, there is. Okay. There is. Okay, I'm talking a whole lot of shit right now, but yes, thank you for saying so. Everything has a story for me, and tea, my love for tea started with my biological mother. For 3 months, for 3 months I lived with her after I had been put out a second time. I lived with her. She and her husband were living in Boulder, and they were getting ready to moved to Nova Scotia, so she allowed me to come lived with them before they left the country. And she introduced me to tea. And our thing, and I love books. Okay, I would show you my apartment, but it's a wreck right now. I love books and I love reading, and you'll learn this from my memoir, is that I didn't read my first book until I was 13.
What?
Right. Because by the time I got to 7th grade, I had a 5th grade reading level, because
Oh my
I was
God.
being called bitch and motherfucker every day. How do you concentrate? How do you concentrate? How do you go to school every day, come home from lunch, get raped by your brother? I was listening to you talk about your 10-year-old son while I was putting on my red lips. And I thought, man, 10 years old, 5th grade. My mom let an old man live in our house, and I had to come home and make his lunch every day, and which was responsibility I should have never been given. And my stepbrother waited for me and raped me every day, and I went back to school with blood and semen on my vagina. How do you learn it under those conditions?
At 10 years old.
At 10. And I thought about it, and I thought, I mean, I was listening to you. I was in the bathroom putting on my lipstick, and I was listening to you talk about your son's smile and the joy of you being his biggest cheerleader. And I thought, that's a wonderful thing, because I didn't have that at 10 years old. And so, yeah, I had reading disability. I couldn't, and so in 7th and 8th grade, I got some teachers. We moved to the suburbs. I got some teachers who took care of me, who became some of my angels. And
Did they know? Did they know
No, no one
nobody knew?
I grew up in this house where I was told, bitch, if you go tell, what happens in this house stays in this house. Yeah.
Like that though.
Like in that language.
I just want to hug you.
Thank you. I accept it. Thank you.
Did your life ever traumatize you from not wanting to have children?
Okay, we didn't get to children. So anyway, the longest short of it was when I went to Boulder to live with my mom for 3 months. They didn't have a television. Some white hippie shit. I don't know. They just didn't have a television. And he was a professor, MIT graduate. Anyway, so she and I would go browse the used bookstores, and we would come back home, and we would both get a seat in the living room and have tea and read a book. And that was our bonding. And
Right.
so I peruse bookstores. Still now, it's my favorite thing to do. So yeah, I wanted children. Maybe I wanted 1.2, or 2 children and a dog or something like that.
Yeah.
But I grew up in an era where you don't get pregnant and embarrass your mama. And I was told most of my life that you're fast, you're just a whore, you never. And so I got relegated. As a child, I was relegated to a woman's status. And so I started taking birth control pills, because I wasn't going to get pregnant and get the shit beat out of me, or embarrass my mama, or have to hear her say, I told you so.
Right.
And so did I get pregnant? Yes, you'll read about them in the memoir. And then I grew up in an era where we were taught you bring children in the world when your circumstance permit. Only fast girls had babies out of wedlock. My girlfriend Veronica said something to me that just really made sense. She said, you know, our mother shamed us into not having children. That's where a lot of people my age don't have children. That we just got shamed into it. And so, you know, if you don't have a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of, why are you bringing a child into the world?
Right.
That's
and then
what I believed. And since I was taking care of myself since I was 17, I never had a pot to piss in.
And then when your health circumstances did what it did, you were just like, okay, well.
And then when I got married, we had a little slip up and I did get pregnant. And it was a very, very difficult decision because, you know, the thought of it was appealing, but my doctor didn't think I was so sick that she didn't think I would be able to carry the child to term. And still, even back then, there was like a 30% chance that the child would become infected. And I never wanted to bring an infected child into the world. I mean, they were just starting to do research on mother-to-child transmission. I mean, today, you know, it's a 0 chance that I would infect my child. I mean, that's just how far we've come. But, you know, we grew up in a period where it just was not cute.
It was taboo.
Wendy got pregnant in 8th grade, and we talked about her all through high school. Okay. And so I'm a doggy mom.
Yeah.
And I take my doggy mom stuff serious. Chloe's my 4th poodle.
Okay. Chloe Chanel.
And so I had Imani, who lived 12 years, and she had a litter, and I kept one, and that was my Nambi, and she lived 16. And my Sophie died from cancer at 8, and I got Chloe a week later because I didn't think that I could survive without her. That's what she's spoiled. That's why she's sitting in my lap.
That's very sweet.
Yes, I wanted children, and maybe because I was brought up in a unloving home, I just always wanted the circumstances to be right. But the circumstances never got right. I got HIV instead in an era where we didn't have the kind of technology that we have now. And so, you know, it's one of the things that I wish but I didn't. But I've mentored a lot of girls. I mean, you know, when I first started speaking in Chicago public, I started in the high schools in Chicago, and, you know, girls attached themselves to me, and some lived with me for a period. And so I had young girls in and out of my house, and I always had someone. And then the last one that I met at a high school, at her college, her freshman year, we were very close, Tiara, and she died during COVID.
Oh,
and she
my
was
God, I'm so
27.
sorry.
Oh God, she was 27, just dropped dead in her bathroom. She had sickle cell. I think it was, she didn't have COVID, but there was a lot of stuff about sickle cell and COVID.
Yeah.
And she left a 2-year-old, JoJo, who's Jariah, who's now 4. So I have a goddaughter, and I take my godmommy duties seriously. And I still just have these young women out here that love me, and
I can see why.
I'm not offended by being an auntie. I'm everybody's goddamn auntie that want me to be your auntie. I see it as a term of endearment. It means that you honor my wisdom and my wit and all the things that come with me.
Listen, you can add me to the list. Although you'll be my big sister. You could be.
I'd love to be your big sister.
Be my big sister. Everything about you is phenomenal. Everything that comes out your mouth is just. I'm questioning, like, how are you still here? because of all of the trauma. Like it's like you were the person meant to go through every single thing so that you can be the face and the leader to show other people who don't have the strength that you have. And sometimes I can believe you're sitting there like, boy, this is interesting. Okay, this is what we've got.
Yeah,
And now
it
you're
is.
60 and fabulous. And you know what I'm saying? Like I appreciate your strength.
Thank you. But it's a hard strength. And I think it's a hard hustle. Like sometimes I wonder why, being famous doesn't make you rich. And so, sometimes I'm like, can it get easier? Like, Lord, can it just get a little easier? It's like I have had to work for every freaking thing that I've gotten, and that's exhausting.
Is it easy now?
Yeah, even now, ain't nobody paying me. I've never had a pharmaceutical grant. My book is so good. I mean, I have friends in the national media that haven't even done stories on my book.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I just said that.
Why? Why do you think?
I think because there is a snobbery to self-published books.
We're going to change that right here. We're going to change that on the show. Your book is available on Amazon
and
Barnes and Noble.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to Barnes and Noble. I'm going to Barnes and Noble after the show, and I have Amazon Prime. So I'm declaring right now on the show today, it is December 8th, 2022. I'm going to go buy a book from Barnes and Noble, and I'm going to order a book from Barnes and Noble. From Amazon. Tasha Troops that's in here. I'm going to put the book link in the link in my bio right after the show. And I want 30 people to show me that you purchased this book in the next 7 days. If we exceed that number, wonderful. But I want at least 30 of us. We're going to change that because that doesn't make sense. We're small. We're small, but we're mighty over here. I would say 300.
This is the deal. I mean, the book has done, and Shirley Ralph wrote the foreword. Okay, stop. Shirley Ralph wrote the foreword of my memoir.
How did you get her to like?
She and I are
and
friends.
She's a big AIDS advocate.
Yes, that's it. That's it. She has this one woman show called Sometimes I Cry.
Yes.
Okay. So
I've heard of it.
I'm the lead character, Miss Chanel. She actually heard me tell a story about shitting on myself in an upscale restaurant and washing my butt in the toilet, and went back to LA and wrote that play. And so sometimes, depending on where she's at, she'll do different characters, but my character is the anchor character. She always does Miss Chanel. And, she has me in this white Chanel suit dressed to the tens, and she takes you through me pooping on myself in the restaurant. And it happened. It's a true story. It's a true story. And so we've been friends for, 20 years now. So, but the book actually was, for 5 weeks, we were #1 in new release in AIDS. Just think about had I had national press. So,
dear Rick Party, Rick Party, who's the executive producer of the show.
Yes.
We need to, Rick, wherever you are listening to me, and my back office girl. That's all I'm going to say. Anyhow, go on. We're going to change that.
Think about it. I mean, the book, people bought the book out of their love, respect, and admiration for who I am and what I do.
I don't want want to insult you, but I just can't believe this.
Everything. I'm the most name recognizable Black woman in America with AIDS. And the only national outlet that's done a story on my book has been The Root.
Well, this ends now. I'm literally going to spend the rest of my shows and time until you get like New York Times bestseller. Like that's because I first of all, I have to thank you, as you know, as we're sitting here, like it is such an honor to receive your story. Like I'm not worthy yet to have received such. You're so elegant and graceful, even a potty mouth, but there's something so classy. No, you really, I just can't believe that you have given me the honor to hear you and share your story with my audience. We're small, but we're mighty. Who am I? I'm not nobody over here. And so if whatever I can do to put your greatness out there, you're an Emmy award-winning AIDS activist, and like that's not something small. And so for you to tell me that your book hasn't gotten national coverage, hello? We're gonna end that right here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. No, I'm trying to think of Tavis actually did have me on his radio show, and we had a great conversation about the book, and he texted me and he said, as always, you bring it home. And so it's not like they don't know I'm capable. It's just because the book was, and I've had people compare it to Viola Davis' book. It's that level book.
Okay, well, we're all gonna read it. Listen, I'm challenging my Tasha troops. I'm challenging everybody in this room that we are going to get your book and we're gonna read. You know what? We're gonna read it together. I don't have a book club, and I try to stay away from that because I commit myself in a lot of different spaces.
And the book is 454 pages, so it's gonna take you a while to read it.
Yeah,
but you're not gonna want to put it down. It's that good.
I'm literally, when I end the show, I have to go to Barnes and Noble. So
it's not in the store.
Oh, it's only online. Okay, well, I'm ordering it. I'm ordering my book.
I'm still waiting on Black bookstores to pick the book up.
Hello? Okay, we're gonna talk more behind the scenes, and I'm being serious.
Okay.
Because
I'm still waiting.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not understanding that. So we're gonna change that. Miss, can I call you Ray? Is that okay?
Yes,
hold on,
absolutely.
No. You're a reverend. Oh, we need a part 2. I don't want to exhaust you. I don't want to exhaust you here because it's a lot.
I am ordained and I have a Master of Divinity degree. And I was working on my PhD.
What are you? No, come on, please do it for me.
But you know what? So a PhD is very particular, and I don't know that I would use it. But
you need it. Let me tell you why you need it. I have to tell you.
Let me tell you what I've decided to do.
Okay.
I've decided to go back, but I'm going to get a doctorate in ministry.
Okay.
And because the doctorate in ministry is specifically about how do we minister to the church? And I really want to use my book and talk about trauma. So I want to do something on the church's response to trauma, and particularly rape and violence of Black girls. And so I'm getting ready to go into a doctorate program.
I like that.
And the thing about the D-Min programs is, it's 2 weeks out of the year. You still do all your course. They're designed for ministers who have a full-time life and schedule. And so, yeah, you're going to be calling me Reverend Doctor or Doc.
Well,
I'm going to get that.
The only reason I want you to get the PhD, because, PhD, pretty hot diva. I mean,
Oh, shit. I may have to get a t-shirt made that says that.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, hello.
Wow,
As
pretty
soon as
hot
you press
diva.
that up, I want one.
You got it.
PhD, pretty hot
I like
diva.
that. I like that. I like
Like,
that.
have your name somewhere, Ray, however put it on Ray Lewis Thornton, whatever, what I'm saying, like, however you want to do that. And then underneath it, you got to put the P, H, and then the big D. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's hot. That's hot. That's hot. Now I do have a t-shirt that I still have some. I haven't been selling them, but they say protect Black women and girls.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
That's very personal.
It's very personal because we are so unprotected.
Can we talk about you? Okay. I've got so many ideas. Like, if you had a t-shirt to accompany the book and then you package it, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to get like a press kit together. And I think that
I had a press kit. Do you know how many hours I sending out my EKP? My EPK.
Yeah.
Spent hours.
EPK, electronic press kit for everybody in the room.
Sent it out. Me. I designed it myself and sent it out.
Okay, I'm going to talk to you more behind the scenes, like for real. Rick and I we're gonna between me, Rick, the back office girl, listen, I keep telling you, we're small, but we're mighty over here. And we're going to change this today. The name of the book, I pinned the link. I pinned the title. The name of her book is Unprotected, a memoir by Ray Lewis Thornton. You can find it on barnesandnoble.com or amazon.com. For all of you, I'm challenging Tasha Troops right now. I want 30 of us right now to commit to buying her book. Ooh. There it goes. I'm sorry. Strange things happen here. Just act normal, everybody. We are going to do this. We're going to do this together and we're going to change this. I want your name everywhere. Like your story is way too powerful. And I love the humility that you have in sharing your life. You can make everybody else cry, but you're sitting there like, oh shit. Well, come on. And your accent. I love it. Look, I've got one person that just said, I just ordered my book. Just ordered my book. There we go.
Thank you. To whom much is given, much is required. And I just believe that every morning I wake up, I'm still a part of God's earthly plan. And who am I to squander that which God has called me to do? You know? And so I do what I do. I do the work. And it's not just about HIV, but it's also about, the violence towards women and girls. Little girls with low self-esteem grow up to be women with low self-esteem.
Yes, absolutely.
And so we've got to start doing the soul work. We've got to start working. We've got to begin to work through some of this trauma that we've experienced in our lives so that we can be who God has created us to be, And I had to totally deconstruct from what they told me I was and what they made me believe about myself. Viktor Frankl, the psychiatrist that was in the concentration camps, he says an abnormal existence gets an abnormal response. And so you're constantly living in abnormal. And so, I want to help women get to a better place because, and when I say women, Black women. Black women are disproportionately impacted by HIV. We are still the majority of the AIDS cases among women. Black women are the majority of the HIV cases among women. And we've got to ask, what are we doing in our lives? What are we doing in our lives? Are we trusting a little too much? Are we loving a little too hard? Are we sacrificing who we are? Everybody should still be using a condom.
Yes. Hello?
If the penis is not in your pocket, you have no idea what it's doing when it ain't with you.
It's a word.
That's it. And every time you have sex, without protection, you're putting your life against that penis, and there's no penis worth your life.
Mm.
And so, but I believe that it's some soul work that gotta happen, because if you ain't working at the soul, you ain't working on the right thing. You got to start somewhere. Working on my soul was being able to tell a man, even in my loneliness, if you can't take me out to dinner, if you can't spend time with me beyond the bedroom, then you can't spend time with me.
Yeah.
Working on myself, you know, I could tell a married man, well, why walk away from a married man? Now, I didn't always walk away from married men, because shit, I thought my vagina must be made out of gold. This boy got a wife and I got HIV and he still want to get it in.
Right. Wow.
You know, these false sense of things that make us believe that we better than what we are, when we're actually living in really unhealthy situations.
Yeah.
And so yes, it's a sum total of all. And people, when they bring me to speak, you know, they know I'm going to talk about the whole gamut.
Right. You're not going to hold back. Yeah.
I want everybody, because I can't save you, but I can give you enough stuff to make you think.
Mm.
And that's what my role in all of this is, you know. And I understand that I am an example of what God can do in a person's life. My fidelity, God has honored my fidelity. I recognize that. So I keep doing the work. I wake up every morning doing the work. I do the work.
Mm.
And,
You're so powerful.
And nothing else really matters. Now, I am learning to take care of myself in these days. So
listen,
I'm working on buying a house.
You made it to 60. I'm challenging you to make it to 80, please.
Oh, I plan to, because I plan to buy a house. And let me tell you, I want to sit on my porch with my tea in the morning.
You will. And I want to be there with you. I want to be there with you. So we got, you know, please stay in good health. Whatever it is that you were doing before to make it here, add tax and keep doing it. So I look forward to that.
You have been so good to me. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Please. I thank you. You're amazing. We really love you here. And I would hope that you would come back and share with us all of these amazing things that you're doing, between your speaking engagements, the next book that you're going to write. Are we talking about that yet?
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
When can we expect that release?
I don't know.
Okay. That's okay.
I want to do something. I want to do some short ones. I want to do something kind of like to give women something to encourage them, to help them.
Okay.
You know, like a daily inspirational or something on healing and stuff. I'm still praying about it and thinking it through.
Okay, well,
but
listen, you have a home right here. So everything that you have going on, your jewelry, I want to listen, these I'm putting this on your 2023 list, okay? The books that you were just saying, your books of inspiration, the t-shirts, the bracelets, because I'm a bracelet like fanatic, and I also want the tea line, okay?
I have a tea page. Everybody go follow my tea page. I've had this tea page for like 4 years, and I'm just starting to post on it because, you know, Tea with Ray is going to happen.
Okay. And your blog, do you still do your blog?
Instagram. Yes. So
Diva.
what we're doing right now is, my website is so old and dated, and I have this fantastic web designer who's been working on it for the last month, and we plan to launch it by January 1. It'll be a whole new look. So I'm really excited, and then I'll get back and blogging. Everything shut down for me when I was writing my book. I didn't do anything. I didn't make bracelets. I shut my store down. I didn't do anything for 4 years but write this memoir.
Okay.
And now that the book is done, I'm trying to get back into the groove of
Like
what
pick up all the other
my
stuff.
normal life, right? But you also have to understand that I spent 4 years reliving trauma.
Yes.
And so even getting back into the process has been a journey for me. It's just like, it's not, and I'm learning to self-care. I'm learning to spend some time taking care of myself,
Yes.
in the process. And so I think that, that I'm getting there, but I'm not where I want to be. But I literally spent 4.5 years writing this book.
And that
Nothing.
means we all need to support that. If you've been here from the beginning, if you came midway through, if you just walked in the door, she just said she spent 4 years writing this memoir. That means we need to support that. I saw about
Reliving my trauma.
four people during this live say they just purchased. I want,
Thank
we're
you.
gonna create a firestorm out of this, and we're all going to purchase and reap all of the benefits of your emotions that you poured into this book, because you really poured into us for this last hour. I know Rick told you were only going to be here for a few minutes, so I thank you for giving us your time tonight, because this was way too good to let you go.
It's all good. It's really good. I'm grateful for you guys bringing me.
Thank you. Thank you.
I always feel like no one has to do anything about you. And so, and your audience has stayed. My God, I've been looking up here. I think some of my friends have stepped in here too. So that's a good thing.
Absolutely. You're phenomenal. And I want you back with us. We have so much more to talk about. I want to know if you are licensed to marry.
I am. Wait. I performed my first wedding this summer.
Congratulations.
Yes.
That's good.
One of my girlfriend's daughters, who I've known since she was 10 years old, she called me and said, "TT, I'm getting married." And she said, I can't think of another person who I would want to marry me. And so I married her and her wife, and it was just a wonderful ceremony.
Wow.
I was like, yes, my first wedding.
Congratulations.
Yes. So yes, my name is on a marriage license.
I think, listen, I'm manifesting a husband, so stand by, because I might need you next in 2023. We'll see.
All right, now I'll say a prayer for it. I help you manifest that husband.
Thank you so much. What's your favorite color before you get out of here?
Red.
Red.
Black.
Everybody right now. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Black and red.
Black and red. Everybody right now, I want you to flood the chat with black and red hearts right now before Ray gets out of here. She's putting on her shoes. She's getting right. She's taking the last sip of her tea. Black and red hearts for Ray Lewis Thornton. Your story is incredible. There's so much more that we need to know. But before you come back, I want us all to come back with your book right on our desk. I want us all to have absorbed these 400 pages so that we can talk about stuff in the book.
Yes, that would be great.
Yes, so we're going to do that.
Absolutely be
as
great.
soon as I log off of here, I'm ordering mine. So shout out to everybody that's been ordering live.
You
see these hearts?
I love the hearts. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night with your sweet Chloe Chanel. And I look forward to talking to you more behind the scenes, because we have things to do.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Everybody, this is Ray Lewis Thornton. Thank you. Have a good night.
All right. You too. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Wow. Just because that was low, we got to hit it again. We did it. We did it again. Like, I'm looking at my notes right here, and I've got a slew of other things that I wanted to ask her. There's no way this can only be the only. What? We're definitely having her back. But before we have her back, we got to order her books. So shout out to everybody in the room that started ordering her books. Everybody that's in here, shout out to Clubhouse. Shout out to everybody on Clubhouse. We are definitely going to do a Clubhouse after like a wrap. Like a Clubhouse wrap. We're gonna kick it over on Clubhouse. So if you're not already following me on Clubhouse because you're here on Instagram or you didn't even know I was on Clubhouse, you can find me at Natasha Simona. That's my name. That's my name on Clubhouse. So we're gonna talk more over there as soon as I sign off of this. And it's also my when did I sign up on Was it 2020 that I signed? Yeah, I signed up on Clubhouse today, 2020. So it's 3 years old. Wait, 2020. No, 2 years old. 2 years old. So I'm 2 years old on Clubhouse. Today is actually my Clubhouse birthday. Chanel, yes, you can listen on Clubhouse. We are streaming live on Clubhouse right now. So if you all don't want to sit here on Instagram, you can go over to Clubhouse, drop your phone in your pocket, and keep it moving. So right now, everybody, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you to Ray Lewis Thornton for giving us her time and sharing her life with us. I'm blown away. I knew I was going to be blown away. Like I did my homework on her and I was like, God, there's a lot here. Where do I start? Where do I want to start? And I wanted to keep going, but man, she's amazing. She's amazing. And I'm not going to forget. I'm going to send her my bracelet. We'll put her jewelry making skills to a test. Thank you, everybody. If you enjoyed everything that you heard and saw here, first, I'm going to tell you to please go and purchase Unprotected. The name of the book is Unprotected, a memoir by Ray Lewis Thornton. And if you enjoyed your host, me, Natasha Simona, feel free to drop a love token in my Cash App. Golden Mommy, GOLDENMOMMY. All tips of love are appreciated because this show is powered and operated by you, the people. You keep the lights on, all of this fun stuff is powered and operated by you. So I want to thank everybody thus far that has dropped a love note for me in the Cash App. Hold on a second. I want to thank my back office team. I want to thank everybody on my back office team. I have rehired my back office guy. He's rehired. So shout out to my back office guy. I want to say thank you to my back office girl for holding me down. And really, from my soul, I want to say thank you to the executive producer of the show, Rick Party, for continually booking these amazing guests for us to know and learn with and just love up on. So thank you, Rick Party. You did it again. You're a keeper. I'm going to keep you around for another week. Let's see what you got. Thank you, everybody that joined us tonight. I want to thank all of Ray Lewis Thornton's friends and family that came in and joined us tonight. I want to thank the entire Tasha Troop community, the chat liners. You guys are all amazing. You all have your own conversation. Tony said, I told you to fire that mofo. Nope. He's hired again. The back office guy is hired. And I want to thank all of my silent watchers. You all are amazing. We do have an unboxing, but this unboxing is going to be done in private per request of the sender. So I want to publicly say thank you to the person that sent me this gift in the mail that I picked up today. But per the request of the sender, all I can say is it's a she, and she messaged me and I asked her, I said, are we going to do this live? Are you okay with me doing a live unboxing? And she said, nah. Just like that. She said, nah. So I started laughing. So I just want to publicly say thank you to her, but I will not be revealing her name because she likes to remain quiet. Everybody, that's the show. Please click the link in the bio. For everybody who was asking, I did tell you that I was going to put the link in the bio for the book. So after the show, I will put the link in the bio for you. I'll do all that. So just keep a watch on my stories. I'll have the links available to you. And the room link is in Rick bio. The room link. Okay, the room link is in Rick Party's bio. But Rick, you know something, Rick, I'm kind of confused here. I have to talk to you live because I'm not sure if we'll be able to talk when I end. How do I join? I want to know, how do I join? If this is very confusing to me. So Rick, if you can find a way to let me know how I can join my own after party over on Clubhouse, because I'm confused as to how we're going to do this. Um, are we starting a whole? Rick, can you help me? I don't can you I don't know if you can help me live or behind the scenes or something, but I want to be able to join my own after party. But there is an after party happening on Clubhouse to celebrate my my two years anniversary over on Clubhouse. Declan just walked into the room. I didn't see that. Declan says I'm getting ignored. Well, we would never ignore you here over here, Declan. I didn't see your messages. Declan, I hope you are I hope you're doing well today. We wrapped Rick said call me. Okay, cool. I do you want me to call you live? I'll call you after the show. I'm assuming. Declan, we're gonna cam you up. If you can cam up tomorrow morning, that's the show. So everybody, if you want to come to the after party, come over to Clubhouse. We're doing it all there. And let me see. Back off this girl and Rick Party. Am I done? Am I released? Let me see. Okay, hold on. So dear back office girl, this is all happening live. Dear Rick Party, the back office girl is feeling away. Listen, my back office team cannot be fighting. My back office team can't be fighting. Rick wants me to call him live. Okay, hold on a second, everybody. As you're putting your shoes on, please sit tight. I have to make this phone call, and you all are going to listen.
Hey, thanks for calling me. Your name and number at the beep. I'll call you.
This guy wants me to call him live, and I go straight to voicemail. Unbelievable, my team.
Hello.
Hi.
My back office.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir. How are you?
All right. Well, listen, tell the back office that I'm the executive producer here.
Hello? This is all going bad.
All right. I'm the executive producer here. So the show is over. Dex, thank you for checking in for today. She'll probably talk to you tomorrow. I appreciate you, and I hope you're doing well. I hope you found your job and all that good stuff. Now, everybody, we're going to have a little after party. We're going to celebrate Natasha's, really, I think it's like her second year.
Yeah, it's a 2 year. Because I thought we were in 2023 already. Sorry.
Yeah. So I want everyone to join the party in Clubhouse. The link is on my bio. So if you click my bio, Rick Party Live, there's a little link, and that's going to bring you right to the Clubhouse room. And Natasha, all you have to do is sign in to Clubhouse the same way you would. Put in your phone number. It'll give you a password. And now you're in again.
So we're going to do a whole new room.
Yeah, just about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. Yeah.
Are you hosting the room? Are you hosting this party for me?
I'm there with you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fine. Okay, cool.
El Michelle's there. Norman's there, who was a part of the Divas with Cheryl Lee Ralph. We're all here. And other people.
But are you in the Clubhouse room under my name? Because if I sign in on my phone, it's going to close.
I'm under my name and your name.
Because did you open the room under Rick Party or Natasha?
Natasha. Just sign in under your name. I got this, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
You can't.
I'm signed in under you and me.
Oh, that's crafty. Okay.
It's crafty and friend. It's me. What do you expect here?
Hello? Okay. Tony Rasan says you need to fire the back office guy.
He's fired too.
Hello. Okay, everybody, that's the show. That's it. I'm going to Clubhouse. Rick, I'll see you in 2 minutes as soon as I sign off of here.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, everybody, that's the show. Let's go to Clubhouse. You can find a link to this Clubhouse party. You follow the directions. I'm following the directions. You follow the directions. That's the show. I'll see you all tomorrow morning. I will be having a show tomorrow morning, everybody. Tomorrow morning, 4:30 a.m. Pacific, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. And we are coming right back here for the evening show at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. 2 shows, 1 host, the Natasha Simona sequence. Thank you all, everybody, and good night. Good night. Let's go to the after party over on Clubhouse. Bye-bye.